Do you need to remove some grass to build a garden or flower bed? Well, you come to the right place. I'll show you 5 ways to remove grass. I've done them all. I'll show you what they are, how to do them, give you tips, pros and cons, so you can pick the right one for your situation.
Guys.
Okay, so I'm going to show you different methods you can use to remove an established lawn or grass to construct a vegetable garden or a flower bed. There's going to be a digital table of contents below in case you want to jump around to a specific method, but here they are. Removing grass using a shovel, using a sod cutter, using a rototiller, sheet mulching, and using herbicides. So let's not beat around the bush, let's get right into it and have a closer look. Okay, the first one is just using a shovel. This is the most basic and straightforward way to remove grass. You simply use a shovel. And while any shovel or spade will theoretically work, a flat shovel with a D-shaped handle like this one I'm showing you here is by far the best. It's also known as a garden spade, and they're really not too expensive. And if you're going to consider using a shovel to do this, I would consider this tool a must-have. I'll leave a link to an equivalent shovel in the notes down below. But this method is straightforward. Lay out the area you want to remove grass from and start cutting out pads. You stomp on the shovel to punch through the sod line and create an outline of a pad. And then you can use the shovel itself as a measuring device to get the right size of pad. Personally, I like to cut pads that are 2 shovel widths by 3 widths long. And that cuts a pad that's approximately 12 inches by 18 inches, and that seems to fit my shovel well enough. But you'll need to determine what size works best for you. Cut your outline, then put the shovel at the back and start lifting the edge of the pad using the shovel on top of the sod for leverage. Next, get down onto your knees and slice underneath the pad. Tip the shovel back, which will lift up the pad, and then just lift it up like a pizza in the oven and toss it into a wheelbarrow. You don't need super thick chunks. If you get 1 solid inch of sod dirt, that's usually all you need to get the root crown for the grass. After you cut your first pad, you'll realize that it is best to work backwards, so to speak, as it allows you to use the adjacent sod as leverage for lifting up the pad you're cutting. So if this is your area, you start here facing this direction and you cut your pads working backwards for the area you want to remove the grass. A few big tips to make this method easier. First, you want to do this in early spring or fall, as the grass roots are not that thick. Second, the soil needs to be moist. So if it's in spring or fall, that's probably not an issue, but in the summer you'll want to water it thoroughly the night before you intend to work. Also, you're going to have to dispose of the sod pads in the trash, compost pile, or somewhere else. While it is possible to just flip the pads upside down where you cut them, you'll still have some grass grow through the seams, at least I have in the past when I did that. But this method with the shovel is physically hard, so don't assume it's a walk in the park. It's the hardest method I'm going to show you. I've done large areas using this method over the years, and the biggest being about 5 years ago when I doubled the size of my vegetable garden. So it's hard, but it is very effective. There is one other benefit, especially if you're disposing of the sod completely. There will be virtually no weeds the first year. The entire seed bank is basically getting tossed out with sod pads, in my experience. You will not need to pull many, if any, weeds. I do have an older video detailing this, going through an entire garden expansion from start to finish with timing. So check that out if you're interested. I'll link to it below. Next method, renting a sod cutter. Okay, so there is most likely a rental store near you, or at least a Lowe's or Home Depot that will rent you a sod cutter. Rental and delivery of this machine can cost $50 to $200 typically, and you'll be responsible for gas. But these machines are usually self-propelled and they allow you to set the cutting depth. And they do what they say. They will definitely slice the sod to the thickness you want. They are a bit heavy and bulky and can be tough to steer depending on how strong you are. But you don't need to mess with the shovel. You will, however, need to deal with the sod. Like the shovel method, you will need to find a place to dispose of the sod. And like the shovel method, you can just flip the sod over, but you'll have some grass grow up through the seams. But make no mistake, dealing with these rolls of sod is real hard physical work, no matter how you cut the grass. Okay, next method, using a rototiller. This is a very accessible method for many people, as there is probably at least one person in your neighborhood that owns one, and assuming they're nice enough, they'll let you borrow it. It is easiest to do this when the soil is moist, and best in spring or fall, as the roots just aren't as tough. You probably noticed the pattern with that. But mark out your area and get to tilling. Be prepared to handle the machine. If you're not experienced with the Rototiller, you should make sure you know how to start it and stop it, especially if it's a self-propelled version. But you're going to go through and tear up the area and let the tiller do the work. Then you can come through and rake the grass up and then dispose of it. This method is effective, but you probably, or you may not get all the grass, and there might be some root crowns left that you'll miss, and they're going to regrow. So you may have some further work and have to give another pass in a week or so to remove any stragglers. Also, I've had people write to me in the past saying that this method will churn up weed seeds and you will need to repeat this job in a couple weeks. So for this video, I tested this theory. I tilled up a strip of my father's yard and I left it. After a week or so, I did notice some grass popping up that I had missed, but no real weeds. I'll have more to say about this in another video that'll come out soon, as next to this strip I tilled, I did another strip using the shovel method just to compare both. And I left both areas for 6 weeks to see what would happen, and it makes an interesting comparison. I will link to that video below when it comes out. All right, number 4, sheet mulching. Okay, so I have made lots of flower beds and gardens over the course of my life, and I have to tell you, there is no easier way than sheet mulching. Let me repeat that. Sheet mulching is by far the easiest method to make a garden or flower bed. There's nothing easier. So, what is it? Well, basically you are just going to mow your grass to the lowest possible level, then smother the grass with cardboard or newspaper, and finally place a layer of mulch on top. Like all other areas, mark out your area that you're interested in, mow it very short, really short, like the lowest setting you can. Then start putting down cardboard or newspaper. You can remove the labels and tape easy enough by pulling, or if it wants to stick, use a razor blade scraper. These are cheap. I'll link to one below, but it's really the secret cheat code to removing tough labels from cardboard. And if you're making a vegetable garden, aka you want to grow food on the plot, then only use plain brown cardboard with or without black ink. No coatings, no dyes, no colored inks other than black. Those coatings, colored inks, and dyes will have heavy metals like arsenic and mercury in them, and you don't want that in your vegetables. So I'll link to an article I wrote on this topic some years ago that has plenty of references and studies citing this information. But for cardboard, regular corrugated cardboard will work just fine for stopping most grasses. So Amazon boxes are great. Although Bermuda or St. Augustine grass could be a problem. I'm up north though, I don't have to deal with that, thankfully. But if you're using newspapers, 10 sheets thick is usually enough, but just lay down your cardboard or newspaper and make sure the edges overlap by a couple inches. Then water all of this thoroughly and apply a layer of mulch at least 2 inches thick. As long as your mulch keeps the cardboard newspaper moist, it will break down over the course of a couple months. But the layer of cardboard is more than sufficient to stop any weeds that germinate. You can wait 2 to 4 weeks to plant, or you can simply remove the mulch, cut an X into the cardboard, and peel it back, dig your hole, plant your plant, then put the cardboard back down and replace the mulch. But you still want to wait a couple weeks so that the cardboard has time to kill the grass. I have an older video I'll link to below that goes into a lot of detail on sheet mulching if you're interested. Number 5, chemicals. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of it, but it works. If you want to kill everything, use chemicals. Glyphosate works to kill grass and weeds. I would not use this method on a vegetable garden, but it does work. You will likely need to perform a single broad application and then follow it up by spot treating weeds for another 2 weeks afterwards. And then after that, you can put down mulch and start planting things. I'm not a fan of chemicals, but they do work. But as I said, I would not do this for growing food. All right, let's do a comparison of these methods. I generated this matrix to give a better visual on the pros and cons of these together, since there's multiple methods. You can see that when it comes to physicality, the shovel and the sod cutter are hard because you've got to deal with the sod pads. And the shovel is obviously harder than the sod cutter. But there's just no way to avoid it. You've got to deal with that sod. While other methods are easier by comparison. When it comes to effectiveness, All methods are effective, but the rototiller and the chemicals will often require either removing extra grass you missed with the tiller or if you didn't kill all the grass and weeds the first time. For cost, most of these methods are free, but the sod cutter is going to cost you money to rent. I really doubt any of you know someone who owns one of those. Although with the sod cutter, you will get that instant results that can allow you to plant immediately. Also, when it comes to cost, chemicals, they're obviously not free, so you'll have to pay for those. When it comes to speed, as in how long before I can start planting flowers or start my vegetable garden, well, the shovel and the sod cutter are instant. There is no waiting period at all. For the rototiller, you could do it right after tilling, but waiting a week could be a good idea in case your first tilling wasn't effective and you have to go over it again. Sheet mulch and chemicals both need a couple of weeks before you can think about planting. The sheet mulch needs time to smother and kill the existing grass. As for chemicals, you want to know that you have a solid kill before you start planting flowers. Because if you come back later to spray some weeds after planting flowers, well, there is a risk you're going to spray what you just planted. Okay, a few other hints and tips on this entire thing, no matter which method you choose. There are some municipalities which have free mulch. I would check yours, and if they do that, I would take advantage of it. Next, if you're doing a vegetable garden, if you can build your vegetable garden in the fall and apply a thick layer of leaf mulch, you can not only take care of starting your garden, but you will also start building your soil immediately. I have all kinds of things to show you on leaf mulch if you just search my channel. You'll find lots of videos showing my journey on that. And then finally, no matter which method you choose to remove the grass, you're going to have to fight the grass over time to keep it from creeping back into your garden. You can plant a physical barrier to do that, but there is another method that you would find helpful where you make a little trench that makes like an air wall that stops the grass from creeping in. I have a very good video on that explaining the theory, the process, and showing the results. I will link to that below as well. Okay, so I hope this helped you out. If you got any questions, please ask in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best I can, and I'll have another video out in a week or so comparing the rototiller and shovel method side by side. Okay, so you all have a good one.